when a major star returns home. Caitlin Clark returned to Iowa yesterday for the first time since she walked away from professional basketball to join the Pretenders in the WNBA dump. And this is no example.
Let's set the scene. Yesterday, Caitlin Clark stepped back onto Iowa soil for the first time since she traded her college jersey for the professional stage of the WNBA. The Indiana Fever took on the Brazilian national team at Carver Hawkeye Arena. But let's be real, this wasn't about the opponent. This was about Clark, the hometown hero, the sharpshooting savant who's rewriting the record books faster than a speed reader at a library sale. And Iowa? They showed up like it was a state holiday. Picture this. The entire state of Iowa practically hit pause. Traffic was gridlocked, with cars lined up like they were waiting for the last Taylor Swift concert tickets. Thousands of fans, young, old, and everyone in between, flooded the streets outside the arena hours before tip-off, decked out in Clark jerseys, holding signs, and chanting her name like she was the second coming of Michael Jordan.
Exaggeration. It looked like the entire state of Iowa shut down. The state of Iowa experienced something yesterday that they have never experienced before.
The energy was electric, the kind of buzz you feel in your bones, like the air itself was vibrating with anticipation. This wasn't just a basketball game. It was a cultural moment, a celebration of a star who's not just playing the game, but redefining it. Inside the arena, the sold-out crowd was a sea of black and gold roaring with every move Clark made. Ticket prices? Let's just say the average cost was $670, and you still couldn't find a seat unless you were willing to barter your firstborn. In 19 minutes of play, Clark dropped 16 points, snagged 6 rebounds, and dished out 5 assists, all while posting a +42 plus-minus that screamed, "I'm back, and I'm better than ever." She was pulling up from logo range, draining threes like it was a casual Tuesday shoot-around, and walking off to a standing ovation that could have rattled the rafters. This wasn't rust, this was radiance. Caitlin Clark was home, and she was home. But while Iowa was throwing a party for their golden child, there was another storyline brewing. One that's less about celebration and more about, well, panic.
Millions of people were standing outside of the arena hours before the game even started.
Reese, Angel, Angel, Angel. Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling.
Enter Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed rival who's finding out the hard way that hashtags and hype don't win basketball games. As Clark was soaking in the adoration, Reese was somewhere else, sweating through workout drills and posting cryptic tweets that screamed, "I'm fine, everything's fine." Spoiler alert, it's not fine. Let's dive into the chaos. Angel Reese's panic room, the pressure cooker of facing Caitlin Clark. If Caitlin Clark's return to Iowa was a victory lap, Angel Reese's preseason vibe is a full-on sprint through a maze with no exit. The WNBA season is about to tip off, and the looming showdown between Clark and Reese is shaping up to be less of a rivalry and more of a one-sided reality check. Clark's out here breaking records and redefining what it means to be a superstar, while Reese is breaking into a cold sweat, trying to figure out how to guard a player who shoots from the parking lot and passes like she's got a GPS in her brain. Let's talk about Reese's game for a second. Her strength is in the paint, rebounding, battling for position, and using her physicality to dominate the interior.
What in sweet tarnations is going on?
Angel Reese, her game is inside.
It's a gritty blue-collar style that's earned her fans and a double-double here and there. But when it comes to facing Clark, that inside game starts looking like a bicycle in a Formula One race. Clark's range stretches defenses to the breaking point, forcing players like Reese to step out of their comfort zone and defend in space. And based on the evidence, Reese isn't ready for that assignment. Take a look at the workout videos Reese has been posting, or more accurately, the ones that got leaked. These clips were supposed to scream, "I'm locked in, I'm ready." Instead, they're more like a blooper reel with a motivational soundtrack. In one video, she's drilling corner threes, and the results are, let's call them optimistic. She went 0 for 1, 1 for 2, and her form? Imagine someone trying to throw a paper airplane for the first time. Her release point is inconsistent. Her arms are flailing like she's swatting at a swarm of bees, and the ball's trajectory looks like it's auditioning for a role in a physics experiment gone wrong. 1 for 4 from deep? That's not a stat line. That's a cry for help. And then there's the defense. In another clip, Reese is practicing her footwork, shuffling side to side like she's dodging invisible opponents. Problem is, those imaginary foes still look like they're getting past her. Her lateral movement is sluggish, her stance is shaky, and you can almost hear her coaches off camera whispering.
Well, yesterday, Angel Reese took to Twitter and said, "Y'all be feeling too entitled, thinking y'all opinions matter about somebody else's life instead of minding."
We've got work to do. If this is her preparation for guarding Clark, it's like bringing a butter knife to a lightsaber duel. Clark's not just quick. She's a blur, a maestro orchestrating the offense with no-look passes and step-back threes that leave defenders questioning their life choices. Reese's panic isn't just visible, it's practically got its own zip code. The social media spiral. Reese's desperate bid for relevance. But the desperation is palpable. Every post feels like a plea for attention, a way to remind the world that she's still in the conversation. Take her recent tweet, for example. "Y'all be feeling too entitled, thinking your opinions matter about somebody else's life instead of minding your own business. I promise you win at life when you just live your own life and mind your own business, I promise." On the surface, it's a clapback at the haters, but read between the lines, and it's a cry from someone who's feeling the heat. The Reese's Pieces, her fan base, are hyping her up in the comments, but the broader basketball world?
Own business. I promise you win at life when you just live your own life and mind your own business. I promise. Now this tweet...
They're too busy refreshing Clark's highlights to notice. Compare that to Clark's social media presence, which is the epitome of cool confidence. She doesn't need to post every gym session or tweet cryptic one-liners to stay relevant. When she does share something, it's a highlight reel of her latest logo 3, or a heartfelt thank you to the fans who've made her return to Iowa a spectacle. Her brand is built on substance, buckets, assists, and a quiet swagger that says, "I don't need to tell you I'm great, just watch me play." Reese, on the other hand, is out here trying to manufacture hype like she's running a one-woman PR firm, and the results are mixed, to put it kindly. The rivalry that wasn't, Clark's ascent versus Reese's stagnation. Here's the kicker, this so-called rivalry between Clark and Reese. It's starting to feel like a fan fiction where only one character showed up to the plot. Last season, Reese leaned hard into the antagonist role, taunting Clark and basking in the drama like she was the villain in a sports movie. It worked for a minute. Her trash talk and viral moments got her attention, and she rode that wave like a pro. But waves crash, and the spotlight has shifted.
I don't know what they're doing in Chicago. I don't know what they're thinking about in Chicago. But when you see little workout videos, and I'm not a big proponent of the workout videos, I know I've said that before.
Clark's not playing that game anymore. She's too busy leading drills, studying film, and building a legacy that's already got her name etched in the WNBA history books. Reese, meanwhile, is still stuck in last season, rewatching her own highlight reel like it's a motivational video, conveniently skipping the parts where she got outplayed, outscored, and outclassed. Her entire brand is built on being the foil to Clark's greatness. But what happens when the hero stops acknowledging the villain? You're left yelling into a void, and that's exactly where Reese is right now. Clark's focused on titles, on elevating her team, on turning the WNBA into a global phenomenon. Reese? She's focused on proving she still belongs in the same sentence as Clark, and the gap between them is growing wider by the day. Let's talk numbers because the stats don't lie. Clark's preseason performance has been a masterclass in efficiency and impact. Against the Brazilian national team, she put up 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in just 19 minutes. With a plus 42 plus minus, that's the basketball equivalent of a mic drop. Her game is a symphony of precision, logo threes, no-look passes, and a basketball IQ so high, it needs its own stat line. She's not just playing, she's conducting, orchestrating the offense, with a calm assurance that makes her teammates better and her opponents irrelevant. Reese's stats, on the other hand, are more like a mystery novel titled, "Where Did My Shot Go?" Her preseason numbers are floating around like ghosts she hopes no one notices. She's shooting bricks like she's auditioning for a masonry apprenticeship, and her jump shot? It's powered by hope and a prayer, with a release point that changes every time she lets it fly. Her double-doubles are nice.
Hey, great to be here with you guys today. As we are all aware, Caitlin Clark made her long-awaited, heavily anticipated return to Iowa,
But they're not enough when you're facing a player like Clark, who's turning arenas into sold-out rock concerts, while Reese's games have enough empty seats to host a yoga retreat. The Caitlin Clark effect, a league transformed. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture, because Clark isn't just dominating Reese, she's reshaping the WNBA. The league knows where the wind is blowing, and they're leaning into the Caitlin Clark effect like it's their job, because it is. The schedule is practically screaming, let's make sure Clark gets the spotlight she deserves. Opening night, boom, Clark's front and center with her games on national TV, arenas packed to the brim, and ticket sales that make Coachella look like a garage sale.
Yesterday afternoon, Indiana Fever putting on a show against the Brazilian national team. Caitlin Clark herself coming through in 19...
Reese's games? Let's just say you could stretch out across 3 seats and still have room for a picnic. The numbers back it up. Clark's return to Iowa generated 3 million views for a single highlight in just 17 hours. Her jersey sales are through the roof. Her games are must-see TV, and she's bringing a new audience to the WNBA. Casual fans, kids, even people who've never watched women's basketball before. She's not just a player. She's a movement, a walking advertisement for why this league matters. And the league is eating it up, scheduling her games like their blockbuster movie premieres while Reese's matchups feel like them.
So, one thing that's probably not a positive is, like, I just saw this shooting drill and it was like Angel Reese drilling corner threes today. And it's like 0 for 1.